The Army Warrant Officer is a technical expert, combat leader, trainer, and advisor. Through progressive levels of expertise in assignments, training, and education, the Warrant Officer administers, manages, maintains, operates, and integrates Army systems and equipment across unified land operations. Warrant Officers are innovative integrators of emerging technologies, dynamic teachers, confident warfighters, and developers of specialized teams of soldiers. They support a wide range of Army missions throughout their career. Warrant Officers in the Army are assessed with specific levels of technical ability. They refine their technical expertise and develop their leadership and management skills through tiered progressive assignment and education. Warrant Officer candidates are assessed according to the needs of the Army and their possession of specific levels of technical skills. After being selected for Warrant Officer training, they must then complete the Warrant Officer Candidate School known as WOCS at the Warrant Officer Career College, Fort Novosel, Alabama.
Warrant Officer Candidate School is a 5-week course where we continue to assess each candidate on their leadership abilities and competencies. Warrant Officer Candidate School focuses on leader development, and candidates serve in various student leadership positions throughout the course and will receive feedback on their performance.
During their WOCS training, faculty and staff members assess each candidate's mental capacity, emotional strength, and physical stamina to determine if they can meet and maintain the stringent standards necessary for them to effectively serve with dynamic operating environments in which the Army performs its missions.
Being a warrant officer means being knowledgeable in your field. It means being a leader of moral and ethical character. It means being a part of something bigger than yourself. It means being a member of a team.
The United States Army Warrant Officer Candidate School provides qualified military personnel an opportunity to become Army Warrant Officers in continued service to the nation and our Army. To qualify, applicants must meet specific mental, moral, and physical requirements to serve as an Army Warrant Officer.
Upon completion of Warrant Officer Candidate School, graduates will have gained a new level of confidence in their leadership abilities. They have learned to adapt to austere environments through mental agility, problem-solving skills, and teamwork.
WOCS teaches candidates the fundamentals of leadership and how to be a leader of character. Candidates are taught to lead by personal example and to consistently serve as role models. When soldiers arrive to WOCS, they must be physically and mentally prepared. One of the key aspects of being here is learning how to be resilient. This school focuses on making leaders of character and intellect.
A warrant officer is a multifunctional professional and is prepared to provide guidance and technical expertise to ensure the mission is accomplished. Warrant Officer Candidate School lays the foundations for new warrant officers, preparing them for the operational environment. WOCS affords the candidate the ability to hone their skills by building on their knowledge and previous experiences through leadership development and assessments.
Warrant officers are technical and tactical experts in their duty assignments, possessing a high degree of specialization, knowledge, and skill. They command maritime vessels, special units, and tasked organizational operational elements. There are no plateaus during this course. Candidates are being assessed on their performance from the minute they start to the day they graduate.
Warrant Officer Candidate School provides candidates with a leadership foundation to build upon and assist their potential as company-grade officers.
Warrant Officer Candidate School will last 5 to 7 weeks depending on individual qualifications and status. Training focuses on leadership development, the history of warrant officers, and their role in the Army operational environment. Candidates will participate in field exercises while attending the candidate school, as well as daily physical readiness training to include marches up to a distance of 10 kilometers or 6.2 miles. Upon completion of the candidate school, graduates are appointed as an officer in the United States Army at the grade of Warrant Officer 1. A select few graduates will earn special recognition and honors. Graduates then progress to the Warrant Officer Basic course at various Army installations depending on their specialty and branch. Locations for duty after completion of the basic course can include Army assignments both in the United States and overseas.
At First Warrant Officer Company, we take great pride in training, educating, and equipping candidates to become warrant officers within all 3 components of the Army. Upon graduation from Warrant Officer Candidate School, candidates are expected to be the Army's premier land force technical experts and system integrators. These newly appointed warrant officers will be prepared to succeed as technical experts and trusted advisors.
All warrant officers have the opportunity to progress in rank and responsibilities through promotion and additional career paths. Warrant officers make up the technical foundation of the United States Army. They hold a great deal of responsibility that includes leading and training soldiers, organizing and advising missions, integrating, maintaining, and operating complex Army systems. They're the horsepower behind the organization, the leaders that commanders rely on to ensure mission success. Talk to your career counselor or an Army in-service recruiter about taking your skills to the next level. Highly specialized and highly committed, the Warrant Officer Candidate School of Fort Novosel, Alabama.
Good morning, Colonel Kevin E. McHugh, Colonel Nick D. Ryan, Mr. Benjamin S. Valentine, Chief Warrant Officer 5 Stephen Napoli, Chief Warrant Officer 5 Jason E. Godwin, Chief Warrant Officer 5 Derek J. Canals, Chief Warrant Officer 5 Michael R. Brucewick, Chief Warrant Officer 5 Jeremy J. Gula, Chief Warrant Officer 5 Bradley A. Henson, Chief Warrant Officer 5 Jeffrey G. Isaac, Chief Warrant Officer 5 Belinda A. Jackson, Chief Warrant Officer 5 John E. Penny, Chief Warrant Officer 5 Christopher Whaley, Chief Warrant Officer 5 Darren Johnson, and distinguished guests, senior warrant officers, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of our Commandant Colonel Kevin E. McHugh, welcome to appointment and graduation ceremony for Warrant Officer Candidate Class 25-08 Burgundy Bruisers. Following the remarks this morning, the company commander, CW4 DeCaster J. Bennett, will administer the oath of office. Once the oath is complete, each member of the class is the warrant officer. The only remaining event is the pinning of the warrant officer. Family members and guests are invited to assist in this part of the ceremony. As your soldier's name is called, please feel free to come forward to conduct the pinning. At any time during the ceremony, you may come forward to take photographs. Please be mindful of other guests. Do not block their view and promptly return to your seat. Please stand for the entry of the official party, the invocation, and the playing of the national anthem.
Will you please pray with me according to your faith? Let us pray. Almighty God, we gather in your presence to celebrate these warrant officer graduates. Bless them as they step into leadership, granting them the strength, wisdom, and courage to face new challenges. Thank you for their dedication and for their support of those who stood by them. May they serve with honor, inspiring others and upholding the values of duty, respect, and selfless service. Protect them, Lord, as they walk confidently in their calling, mindful of the oath they've sworn and the freedom they defend. In your mighty name we pray, amen.
Thank you, Chaplain Hicks. Please be seated. It is indeed a privilege to be associated with this outstanding group of soldiers. Warrant Officer Candidate School is a challenging 5-week course where we test each candidate to ensure they meet the moral, mental, and physical requirements to become warrant officers. Regardless of the environment, character, competence, and commitment form the foundation of successful leaders. Honor, discipline, and a conviction to adhere to a higher standard are but of a few of the qualities society expects from every military officer. These graduates have demonstrated that they possess these qualities. This class has excelled in many endeavors while at the 1st Warrant Officer Company. The Burgundy Bruisers are graduating with a final class average of 94%. The Burgundy Bruisers also earned the following Guide-On Streamers: Outstanding Sign, and Outstanding Car Wash. The Burgundy Bruisers are graduating with a class total of 94 warrant officer candidates, comprised of the following: 57 technicians and 37 aviation warrant officer candidates, which includes 66 regular Army, 14 National Guard, and 14 Army Reserve. The Burgundy Bruisers' civilian education includes the following: 9 with a master's degree, 25 with a bachelor's degree, and 21 with an associate's degree. The average age in this class is 32 years old, with a candidate as young as 19 years old and a candidate as old as 46 years old. Allow me to introduce the team responsible for training the Burgundy Bruisers. The Senior TAC Officer, Chief Warrant Officer 3 C. Fuentes. The Primary TAC Officer, Chief Warrant Officer 2 Edwards. The TAC Team, Chief Warrant Officer 3 Little, Chief Warrant Officer 3 Vineyard. The Company First Sergeant Smith. The Senior Mentor and the Warrant Officer Candidate School Course Director, Chief Warrant Officer 3 Henry. Please join me in a round of applause for this outstanding team. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to introduce today's guest speaker, Chief Warrant Officer 5 Derek Canals. Chief Warrant Officer 5 Canals enlisted in the Virginia Army National Guard in 2000 as an infantry rifleman and M203 Grenadier. In 2004, he graduated from the United States Army Rotary Wing Flight School and the UH-60 Aircraft Qualification Course here at Fort Novosel, Alabama. His stateside assignments include Stanton, Virginia, Phoenix, Arizona, Arlington, Virginia, Joint Forces Headquarters, D.C. National Guard, and Red Rock, Arizona. Some of his qualifications and civilian education includes UH-60 Standardization Instructor Pilot, Aviation Safety Officer, Aviation Mission Survivability Officer, and he has a Bachelor of Science in Aviation Studies. Chief Warrant Officer 5 Canals deployed to Iraq as a UH-60 aviator and is rated in both the OH-58 Alpha Charlie and UH-60. Beyond his aviation experience, he has served as the Headquarters Department of the Army, HQDA level, representing the Army National Guard as a Human Resource Technician, Personnel Data Analyst, and Training Resource Manager. He currently serves as a Deputy Commandant, Army National Guard, at the United States Army Warrant Officer Career College here at Fort Novosel, Alabama. With over 20 years of dedicated service, Chief Warrant Officer 5 Canals has received numerous awards and decorations and has completed all levels of his professional military education. He is married to his wife, Julia Canals. Together they have 3 children, Marriott, Rose, and Owen. His full biography can be found in today's program. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Chief Warrant Officer 5, Derek Canals.
Good morning, Colonel McHugh, Colonel D13, and the Utah Army National Guard delegate, Colonel Ryan, Mr. Valentine, all CW5s in attendance today, and distinguished guests. And thank you, CW4 Bennett, for the introduction. And good morning, Warrant Officer Candidate School Class 2508. Congratulations to you, and most importantly, I would like to extend the warmest of welcomes and express my thanks to the families and friends of this motivated class. Your love and support is what motivates those of us who serve this nation, and I would be remiss if we did not recognize your contributions to this class and the United States Army. Please give a warm welcome and a round of applause to the families in attendance today. Class 8, I would like to take a minute to illustrate for your families some of the challenges you faced over the past 5 weeks. I want to brag about you for just a second. Over this short period of time, this class has traversed more than 60 miles on foot through Fort Novosel, at times marching with 50 pounds of equipment or navigating through forest and swamp sometimes to find points on the land navigation course, and of course, running in formation at 05:30 in the morning. Despite the physical challenges placed on this class, they managed to excel in the rigorous academics that sometimes lasted until 1800 or 6 p.m. at the end of a very long duty day. At times, the stress was high, but these soon-to-be warrant officers did not come here to prove their worthiness to join the cohort. Class 8, you have demonstrated your potential to become a warrant officer before you got here. In this course, you've been given opportunities to identify leadership gaps as self-aware officers who are capable of leading soldiers in any situation, no matter the environment and no matter the stakes. You have successfully met or exceeded all expectations, and I may say that 94% is the highest average that I've seen since I've been here, so congratulations to you for that academic average as a class. That's pretty incredible. I would also like to recognize the first Warrant Officer Company TAC officers and NCOs who work tirelessly to administer the training and mentorship to every class, as well as the academic instructors, some of whom are in attendance today in the audience. So let's give them a round of applause, please. I strongly believe that every new warrant officer in this room is going to love being a warrant officer. A person's capacity for service and their ability to lead is not dependent upon their rank. Many members of this graduating class have already served as experienced and in some cases as senior non-commissioned officers. But as you know, things are about to change. In about 50 minutes from now, this graduating class is going to join the highly regarded warrant officer cohort. When you complete WOBC, most of the force in this Army will likely not see you as a junior W1. They will simply see you as a warrant officer. And I've said that many of times to this class. Some will call you chief as soon as you get to your first duty assignment or your next assignment. Because warrant officers make up 2% of the Army structure, you are going to be given a high degree of credibility by virtue of the rank that you wear. So remember, as you consider the core competencies of a warrant officer, do not forget that the Army needs you to be a leader first. And you've all memorized the Army's leadership doctrine, so I'm going to spare you the check on learning on a subject that you've demonstrated very well over the past 5 weeks, but because your depth of influence is going to increase as a warrant officer, I want you to consider a few things. As the realm of your influence increases, maintain your dedication to doing what is right. Be masters of your craft and use this influence that you're going to have and expertise to coach and mentor our formations and leaders. Help us to improve and transform the future of the Army. You now have a seat at the table, a fresh pair of eyes, and a voice to shape the Army's future. Don't forget that. Maintain your appetite for professional growth, not only for you, but for those you have stewardship over. Set the example by being lifelong learners who build and sustain learning organizations. Your expertise, it has an as-of date, so keep it current as we grow and adapt to face and overcome the challenges ahead of us. The cohort needs you to be resourceful and creative to address the problems we are going to face. Use your knowledge and skills to anticipate, prevent, and solve those problems. No problem gets better by admiring it, so take the action you know is required right now. I've met many soldiers who said they were going to apply to be a warrant officer. You have too. But their path led them on a different route, and we all respect that. This path as a warrant officer is not an easy one. Those who will extend immediate credibility by virtue of the rank that you wear, they're going to have a high degree of expectation from you as well. At times, you may find pressure weighing on you. That's not bad. Difficult situations are not bad. It's okay for us to endure uncomfortable friction. If you have to work with a difficult situation or difficult people, it doesn't mean that you have a hostile work environment. These environments are opportunities to find growth. Often, the hardest part of a dilemma can be finding the mental fortitude to realize, I can do this. Waiting for circumstances to change or provide happiness will leave you sorely disappointed. Optimism is the faith that leads us to achievement. Class 2508, I will offer one final thought. In a world of immediate gratification, strive for personal growth, not external validation. Obsession with external validation will keep you fragile. One of the most powerful voices you'll ever hear should come from within your own head. Remember that. Don't rely on others to hold you accountable. Check your own moral compass. Make sure it points due north. Exercise your integrity as you do. Your inner voice will speak peace and confidence. Know your self-worth. Don't rely on others to cheer you on. It won't matter if everyone else sees your potential if you don't. Become the expert integrator, communicator, operator, leader, and advisor who also happens to be approachable. Go forth and become the go-to warrant officer in every organization you serve. Class 2508, congratulations. Be all you can be. Strength and knowledge. This will defend.
On behalf of Class 25-08 and the First Warrant Officer Company, the Leadership Awardee is presenting the guest speaker with a token of appreciation. The oath of office is the most significant event of this graduation ceremony. The candidates have worked very hard to reach this moment. The American people have put their faith and trust into these soon-to-be warrant officers. The candidates are swearing or affirming their true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States. I ask all service members in uniform, please stand for the oath of office.
Please be seated. The Distinguished Honor Graduate Award is named after CW3 retired Doris Allen, a warrant officer who has set herself apart by making significant contributions to our nation and her community. Her biography can be found in today's program. The recipient of this award is Warrant Officer Tyler D. Wright, with a final course average of 98.2%. Warrant Officer Wright is receiving a Warrant Officer Career College Certificate of Achievement from the guest speaker, CW5 Canals. He is also being recognized with a plaque by the company commander, CW4 Bennett. Finally, Warrant Officer Wright will receive a plaque and a $100 check from the Military Officer Association of America, presented by CW5 retired Ron Cayeta. Please come forward and pin your warrant officer. Honor graduates must achieve an overall average within a top 5% for academic honors within Warrant Officer Candidate School. The following warrant officers are honor graduates: Warrant Officer Justino R. Basilio, Warrant Officer Joshua H. Brickell, Warrant Officer Dylan C. Simmons, and Warrant Officer McLean L. Walker. Warrant Officer Basilio, Warrant Officer Brickell, Warrant Officer Simmons, and Warrant Officer Walker are receiving a Certificate of Achievement from the Primary TAC Officer, CW2 Edwards, the Company Commander, CW4 Bennett, the Senior Mentor, CW3 Henry, and the Primary TAC Officer, CW2 Edwards. Please come forward and pin your warrant officer. To achieve Commandant's List, graduates must achieve an overall average within the top 20% for academic honors within Warrant Officer Candidate School. The following warrant officers on the Commandant's List are Warrant Officer Benjamin D. Fairchild, Warrant Officer Rashad M. Green, Warrant Officer Nicole K. Johnson, Warrant Officer Nicholas C. Jude, Warrant Officer Jomael Ortiz Perez, Warrant Officer David J. Parteka, and Warrant Officer Brian Pizarro Navarro. Please come forward and pin your warrant officer. The following warrant officers also on the Commandant's list are Warrant Officer Noel T. Richardson, Warrant Officer David S. Schiller, Warrant Officer Thomas R. Strickland, Warrant Officer Travis W. Teal, Warrant Officer Sebastian X. Valenzuela Douglas, and Warrant Officer Jesse A. West. Please come forward and pin your warrant officer. The Iron Warrant Award is given to the warrant officer who has the highest overall average on all performance evaluations during the course. The Iron Warrant Award is named after medically retired warrant officer Anthony Radatic, a warrant officer who has persevered in the face of adversity. His biography can be found in today's program. The recipient of this award is Warrant Officer Bryce T. Doan. Warrant Officer Doan is receiving a Warrant Officer Career College Certificate of Achievement from the Primary TAC Officer, CW2 Edwards. Please come forward and pin your warrant officer. The leadership awardee was identified by his peers. Through his exceptional leadership and unique attributes, he encouraged personal growth and professional development. The Leadership Award is named after CW4 retired William Roof, a warrant officer who was deeply inspirational and innovative. His biography can be found in today's program. The recipient of this award is Warrant Officer James C. Butler. Warrant Officer Butler is receiving a Warrant Officer Career College Certificate of Achievement from the company commander, CW4 Bennett. He is also being recognized with a plaque by the guest speaker, CW5 Knaus. Additionally, Warrant Officer Butler will receive a plaque and a $100 check from the Military Officer Association of America, presented by CW5 retired Ron Cayeta. Please come forward and pin your warrant officer. Today is a special day for the United States Army, Warrant Officer Career College, and the cohort. Army Directive 2023-02 allows direct commission for qualified soldiers to the rank of Chief Warrant Officer 2. This soldier possesses the right knowledge, skills, and behaviors necessary for service as a warrant officer. We proudly welcome Chief Warrant Officer 2, Emmanuel J. Lucio. Please come forward and pin your warrant officer. Please join me in a round of applause for these outstanding warrant officers. The remainder of the class will receive their Warrant Officer 1 rank in alphabetical order. Please hold all applause. Warrant Officer Averus, Warrant Officer Aubrey, Warrant Officer Abar, Warrant Officer Bailey, Warrant Officer Barker, Warrant Officer Black, and Warrant Officer Blett. Please come forward and pin your warrant officer. Warrant Officer Bricker, Warrant Officer Britt, Warrant Officer Brown, Warrant Officer Campbell, Warrant Officer Caraballo, Warrant Officer Carlson, and Warrant Officer Converse. Please come forward and pin your warrant officer. Right there, buddy. Right there, buddy. Warrant Officer Cross, Warrant Officer Delgado, Warrant Officer Donato, Warrant Officer Donis, Warrant Officer Donahue, Warrant Officer Edwards Sierra, and Warrant Officer Edwards Rovamar. Please come forward and pin your warrant officer. Warrant Officer Ellison, Warrant Officer Eplin, Warrant Officer Epps, Warrant Officer Fleming, Warrant Officer Freeman, Warrant Officer Frisk, and Warrant Officer Gardner. Please come forward and pin your warrant officer. Warrant Officer Glazer, Warrant Officer Glazier, Warrant Officer Graham, Warrant Officer Guthrie, Warrant Officer Horton, Warrant Officer Ichikawa, and Warrant Officer Irungu. Please come forward and pin your warrant officer. Warrant Officer Jackson, Warrant Officer Jones Parker, Warrant Officer Jones Payton, Warrant Officer Klinkhammer, Warrant Officer Lamal, Warrant Officer Laurie, and Warrant Officer Lee. Please come forward and pin your warrant officer. Warrant Officer Lewis, Warrant Officer Lee, Warrant Officer Lindsay, Warrant Officer Lopez, Warrant Officer Mahoney, Warrant Officer McLean, and Warrant Officer Moore. Please come forward and pin your warrant officer. Warrant Officer Morgan. Warrant Officer Ng. Warrant Officer Wynn Allen. Warrant Officer Wynn Tam. Warrant Officer Norton. Warrant Officer Onelas. And Warrant Officer Oyao. Please come forward and pin your warrant officer. Warrant Officer Pagan Shepard. Warrant Officer Parks. Warrant Officer Partridge. Warrant Officer Pilla. Warrant Officer Quesada. Warrant Officer Rosengren. And Warrant Officer Rumpf. Please come forward and pin your warrant officer. Warrant Officer Schweim, Warrant Officer Stevenson, Warrant Officer Stevens, Warrant Officer Suh, Warrant Officer Villela, Warrant Officer Vosberg, and Warrant Officer Walker Kadarius. Please come forward and pin your warrant officer. Warrant Officer Worley, Warrant Officer Yeomans, and Warrant Officer Yoder. Please come forward and pin your warrant officer. Please join me in a round of applause for these outstanding warrant officers. Class 25-08, on your feet. At this time, I ask that all soldiers, past and present, please stand and join us in reciting the Soldier's Creed and remain standing for the playing of the Army song. Burgundy Bruisers, before you are dismissed for the final time, remember, the warrior ethos are deeply rooted in the Soldier's Creed, which states, I am an American soldier. I am a warrior, member of a team. I serve the people of the United States and live the armed battles. I will always place the mission first. I will never accept defeat. I will never quit. I will never leave all my comrade. I am disciplined, physically, and mentally tough, trained and proficient in my warrior tasks and drills. I will always maintain my arms, my equipment, and myself. I am an expert and I am a professional. I stand ready to deploy, engage, and destroy the enemies of the United States of America in close combat. I am guarding freedom and the American way of life. I am an American soldier. The primary TAC officer, CW2 Edwards, will dismiss the class to conclude today's ceremony.
Since day one, I asked, what is your why? And I see your why, your family. That's what we do. We do it for ourselves and for others. So thank y'all for giving me a good class, because this was a good class. Thank y'all. And dismissed.